If you've ever felt like you don't even know who you are anymore, I want you to know that you're not alone. Thank you for joining me today on the Living Free in Me YouTube channel. My name is Haley, and today we are going to be talking about feeling disconnected from yourself. So, first of all, I just want to say that feeling disconnected from yourself is something that is normal to experience. Feeling disconnected from yourself, I feel like, happens at different times to different people, but it definitely is, without a doubt, a normal human experience. I know when we are feeling periods of self disconnection, it can feel like there's something wrong with us. It can feel like we just don't know who we are anymore. We might feel like we are lost, like we've lost our way, or that we just don't belong. And these feelings are not fun. When we have times like this, it's not an enjoyable experience. But I would like you to know that if you are currently experiencing feelings of being disconnected from yourself, or if you felt like this before, keep watching so we can talk about this and figure out why this happens and how it feels like when we do feel disconnected from ourselves. So, when we are feeling disconnected from ourselves, it might be confusing, especially because in the past, if we used to have a strong sense of our identity, we might feel like we used to know ourselves super well. We knew exactly who we were. We might have even felt like we know our purpose. We felt like we know like the ins and outs of the things we like, dislike, all of that. We just felt like we truly knew who we are at our core. So of course, if we go from feeling like we really know ourselves on a deep level to feeling lost and confused, it can be alarming. It can feel like, oh my gosh, what's happening to me? Like, why is this happening? Like, is there something wrong with me? So I just want you to know that I have been there many times myself, and it's not fun. It is not fun, but it is temporary, as everything is in life, and it's not easy always to find your way back to yourself, but it will and can happen, and we will talk about that in like the second half of the video, because first we are going to continue talking about why this happens, how this happens, and what we might feel like when we're going through these periods. So, as I was saying, you might have felt fulfilled in the past, and you might have felt super happy. So one of the reasons why this can happen, and one of the reasons why it has happened to me in the past, is we slowly adapt ourselves to other people's expectations. And this can happen in a variety of ways. It can be adapting yourself because of your parents, a significant other, your friends, acquaintances, or even your workplace. So one of the ways that we lose touch with ourselves is feeling pressure, whether that's from external forces or our internal forces, some type of pressure to change and adapt to who we think that we should be based upon whoever it is in our lives. It can be in one of these categories, like say your parents, or it could be multiple. You might feel like you need to adapt to what your parents want you to do, or your significant other, or your friends. It can be anyone in your life. So we slowly sometimes become what was needed in the moment. And this could be for the purpose of simply prioritizing other people's needs. Like say, if we have someone in our lives who always needs us to be a certain way, or we feel like if we're not acting like this way for that person, they're either going to leave us, they're going to abandon us, they're going to shame us or guilt us, anything like that. So to prevent this from happening, we might slowly adapt and change who we are to fit the mold of the person we think we need to be for them. So in essence, we can completely abandon ourselves, and this happens slowly. This disconnection can happen so slowly that we don't even know that it happens until we're so far gone. We're like, when did this happen? Like, when did I lose touch with who I am? When did I stop living according to my values? So it is a gradual process. It can happen slowly, little by little, and we probably won't even notice it happens. Because I know for me, the multiple times I did go through this, I didn't even know it happened until I was like, it happened like a long time ago. And then I reflected and I was like, wow, like it's been a long time since I felt like myself. And sometimes we do this to be what we believe other people want us to be, but sometimes we also do it for survival. Like sometimes we can be in situations that are really bad and we feel like if we don't adapt to what they want us to be, like it can feel like fight or flight. Like our nervous system can be so like on edge that we will feel this pressure, like, oh my gosh, like we have to continue being what other people want us to be, or else like we don't know what's gonna happen. So it can be a really like type of like instinctual thing that happens in our nervous system. And that is another reason why it's so hard, is when we're in these situations, sometimes we might not even know like how to reconnect with ourselves after experiencing things this tough. So another way that this happens, which can also be in these situations that are more extreme, or it can be more so on a smaller level, is simply ignoring our internal signals. So that means not listening to our body, not resting when we need to, basically not following our intuition. So we could be pushing our own needs down due to the fact, not necessarily from external pressure, but we can also have our own internal pressure, and we can basically ignore our own needs because we are trying to hold ourselves to these high standards. So it doesn't always have to be from external forces, but this can also happen just from ignoring your own internal systems. So if you're holding yourself to extreme standards, if you're trying to push yourself really, really hard in like various areas of your life, whether it's career, relationships, anything like that, we can slowly push our own needs down because we want to change. And change is a good thing, but we also do need to honor ourselves so we don't lose who we are. Yeah, so there are a lot of different reasons why this can happen. I'm only touching on a few in this video, but I am curious if you are relating to any of the ones that I have spoke on so far. And the last little piece of this section I do want to mention is when you're living reactively instead of intentionally. So with this, I mean, instead of being mindful of the decisions you make in your day-to-day life, you are thinking about things in terms of what you want, what you need, what you value. Instead of making decisions from that place, we are making decisions off of just pure reaction, just pure what we think we should do, what other people expect us to do. We are not being intentional with the things that we're choosing to do in our day-to-day life, but instead we're just simply reacting without actually thinking about it, without actually reflecting on like if this is what we want to do or not. We're simply just going. So yeah, as I said, there are a lot of different reasons why this can happen, and so many more that I didn't even touch on in this video. But yeah, so as for how to begin to reconnect with yourself, I know especially if you're really deep in disconnection, it can feel very urgent. Like you might feel so out of touch with yourself, so you can kind of shame yourself in a way. Because I know this is what I did, is I shamed myself. I was like, wow, like how could I let this happen? Why did I let this happen? How did I get so far from myself? And these feelings are normal, but they are not helpful. So if you are having feelings like this, know that it's normal, know that there's nothing wrong with you, but also the only way out of disconnection is being gentle with yourself, is accepting the disconnection and inviting reconnection in. Feeling reconnected with yourself isn't going to be an overnight change. It's not going to be something that you just like flip a switch and you're just like feeling reconnected with yourself again. This can happen slowly and intentionally and mindfully and gradually. So please be gentle with yourself. Know that reconnection is possible, but please try not to shame yourself or judge yourself for any decisions, choices, or ways you've lived in the past. I know it can be difficult sometimes, but I would like you to know that you can move forward in a gentle way where you are kind to yourself. You forgive yourself if need be, and you allow yourself to slowly move in the direction of reconnection. So let's touch on a few points here. So a couple ways to do this is taking pauses and overall taking it slow. So what this means is checking in with yourself periodically throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, taking a pause, just noticing how you feel and noticing any needs that pop up, any feelings that arise within your body or your mind, and just taking note. So slowing down, learning to, instead of reacting immediately, being mindful and being intentional of the decisions and the choices you're making. And we can do this on big levels or small levels, even when it comes down to the food you eat. So say you're gonna eat breakfast and usually you just like react immediately and you're like, okay, I eat oatmeal every morning, I'm gonna make oatmeal. But this time you pause. You're like, okay, I know I'm in a routine of eating oatmeal every single day, but let me pause. Let me check in with myself. Do I feel like eating oatmeal today? Or do I want to like give myself a little treat and make pancakes? Or do I want to have cereal, like a really easy breakfast? So this can happen in like really small things like that, or bigger things like if we're making decisions that regard our future or the people in our life and things like that. So we can practice with small things and eventually take that intentional decision making further as well with the more important decisions. So that is one small way. And another thing that can help you reconnect with yourself, similar to this, is checking in with yourself, but more in regards to emotions. So maybe not in regards to making decisions, but simply reflecting on how you're feeling in the moment. And not even taking any action about it necessarily, but just noticing. So maybe you make a habit of every time you get in your car, before you turn on your car, before you do anything, you just sit there. You take a moment, maybe take a couple of deep breaths, look around and be like, okay, how am I feeling right now? And this might feel really weird because I know for me, when I started reconnecting with myself, it feels weird at first because you kind of feel like a stranger in your own body. You're like, okay, like I'm here, like what am I doing? But I can assure you that it will feel more natural the more you do it. And just know that it's completely normal if it feels weird or strange at first. Again, we're gonna be a little patient with this. We're gonna take our time. So yeah, you can check in with yourself as much or as little as feels good to you. I would recommend making some type of routine about it, like when you first get in your car, first wake up in the morning, maybe every time you're washing your hands, something like that, where it's like you do all the time, so you can make a point at different times of the day to check in with yourself. I know it might sound a little weird, but it really is helpful. And overall, reconnecting with yourself is making tiny changes because we don't want to overwhelm our nervous system any further. We don't want to make all these dramatic changes, dramatic shifts, and overwhelm ourselves, feel pressured, put like just so much, I guess pressure is really the best word to describe it, on ourselves, because that's only going to overwhelm ourselves even more. So let's make small, tiny shifts that we can incorporate in our day-to-day lives. And over time, these tiny shifts will add up and we will begin to feel more connected to ourselves. Just as disconnection happens gradually, so does reconnection. So we might not really notice it's happening because of how gradual it is, but maybe after a certain period of time, you'll look back and be like, hey, I actually feel like myself. I actually am learning who I am now, and I'm learning how to love myself now, and I'm learning how to know myself and who I am. So just also remember that, and overall be patient. So once again, I would just like to normalize this and let you know that disconnection happens. There's nothing wrong with you, and it's a very common experience. And just because you have felt disconnected or do feel disconnected, that doesn't mean you're stuck. That doesn't mean you're never going to find yourself, because you can and you will. And it can be a good process. It can feel good, as long as you be gentle and patient with yourself and don't overwhelm yourself or put pressure. So to end this video, I would just like to let you know that I have built a structured process for reconnecting with yourself. It is called the Daily Happiness Routine course, and that you can find on my website, livingfreeinme.com. I will have that link down below for you. And if you're looking to reconnect with yourself, just know that if you choose to check out this course, it is a very gentle and slow process. We are very mindful when we do it. We aren't jumping straight into things right away. It is very slow, gradual, and you definitely will learn a lot about yourself through the process and begin to just feel more connected to who you are and like know yourself on an even deeper level. So if you'd like to check that out, I truly do feel like that will help a lot. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit a like and go ahead and subscribe if you would like more content like this. And I am curious, if you are feeling a little bit disconnected from yourself, I'm curious, what is one thing you can do, even if it's the most smallest thing in the world, just to slowly move in the direction of reconnecting with yourself? So a couple examples of this could be taking some deep breaths, maybe giving yourself a hug, or journaling just one prompt like, how am I feeling today? Or implementing the daily check-in like throughout the day. So let me know if anything or any of the ideas I gave kind of resonated with you or inspired you or gave you an idea of your own. So please let me know in the comments if you'd like, or just reflect on your own. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for my next video.